Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back today for another player interview. Today, I'm going to be doing my first volleyball interview, doing it with a powerhouse hitter, one of my good friends, one of my sisters, Yasso Amin. She has dominated on the court on both sides of the net at every single level she's played at, both internationally and collegiately. She was a powerhouse hitter in the JUCO level, an NJCAA All-American, and she just dominated the Conference USA last season with UTEP. Now she's going to be suiting up for FIU this season to finish out her collegiate career. And we're going to get into that a little bit more as we get into this interview. So I'm going to go on ahead and add her in and ask her some questions. Hey, Yasso.
Hey, how you doing? I was really nervous when you were talking. I was like, oh my God.
How are you doing at FIU so far?
Great, actually. I'm enjoying my time here. It's really nice here.
That's good. That's good. I'll be seeing you soon. I'll be coming for that FGCU game when they play there. So I'll be coming to see you play.
Nice, nice, nice. I have been missing, to be honest, I have been missing a lot of people, like my friends from Fort Myers, a lot. Because, like coming back to Florida, you're like, I want to come back to these days and all that. And FSW was really nice. I made a lot of friends there. So I was like, oh, I want to see like some people there.
I'm sure a lot of us are going to be coming out to see you here soon. That's for sure. But you mentioned your time at Fort Myers. Before that, obviously, you're an international player coming from Cairo, Egypt, and you, like I said, you dominated at every level, internationally and collegiately. You helped led your team in high school to so many championships, and it brought that dominance over here to America when you played at FSW, UTEP, now FIU. So, what does it mean to you to represent your home country? uh, you know, Playing at the college level?
To be honest with you, like I wanted to play outside of my country since I was young. Like since I was like 14 years old, I have been talking about how I'm gonna be like the best player in the world. I'm gonna be like dominating everywhere and everywhere. And people from my team used to tell me, think like as small as you are, because we are as like a country, as an a continent, we are not competing that well these days with the outside Europe and United States and all that. So I am actually really proud to like be like I done it. And also the experience in United States is different. You gave me the professionalism. I feel like it's a great step to prepare me to like play on a professional level. Like it teach you a lot of like how to be in time, how to be disciplined. Despite of being a good player or not, even if you have the talent and the skills, that is not enough to play in the United States.
It takes a lot for sure, and you learned that over the past few years at the different schools that you've played at, I'm sure. And you've, like I said before, and I'll say it countless more times, you dominated.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean, you every time you hit that ball, I'm pretty sure it's going straight through the person's body and soul. I've seen you send people back 10 feet before. It's incredible. How
I'm
how do you
quite.
feel that international background for you? How do you feel like that's really helped improve your game on the court?
You mean about my racial background or my athlete? I do. Can you repeat the question?
Coming from Cairo, Egypt,
Um,
national background, uh, all of that stuff. How do you feel like that's really affected your game on the court?
so I feel like coming from Egypt to United States, I feel like growing in Egypt made me be able to adapt, made me have the aggression or the aggressiveness that a lot of coaches like to see in a player. I feel like I have been really, really stubborn to not losing, because in Egypt we compete since we are like 8, and United States you start competing when you're like 12 or 10. So it made me like actually even younger than like I think when I started competing I was like 6 years old. So I was taught that if you don't win, like first place, you didn't win. Like there was no participation medals, there was nobody's losing here. There was like you lost, like outspoken about it. So I feel like Egypt gave me the drive, the personality that I needed to be able to perform in the United States. It gave me a unique personality that is not um, related or is more unique, and it made me shine more in the United States.
Mm. Yeah, that definitely helped you out, I'm sure. And you always were competitive. Every single play at FSW, I remember you were so competitive. And watching your games at UTEP on TV, I definitely saw that same fire in your eyes, the same battle cries that you had after every hit. And I mean, you coming from Egypt over to FSW, you played JUCO for the first 2 years, and FSW is known for its winning culture in every single sport. And you actually got to help start the volleyball program. You were part of the very first FSW volleyball team, and you guys ran with it right off the bat. Went 16-8 during your freshman season. You came in late because of some national team stuff going on, and you had 85 kills in 20 matches, 48 blocks. You started coming off the bench at the beginning of the season because you came in so late, but then at the end there was no doubt that you were one of the main players. What did it mean to you to help start up that program and put FSW volleyball on the map?
So to be honest with you, as much as I was like grateful for the opportunity and as much as I was happy to like to have the opportunity to play in the United States, I didn't the first year I didn't really clearly understand what was happening. So like the first year you were literally like I was good, like I'm a decent English speaker. So I was like, I'm cool, I understand what people are saying, so I'm good. But I didn't understand what like conference, states, like all of this NCAA, NGCAA. I didn't understand all of that. I was more of like a player that you like brought and you're like, we're fighting this person. And I'm like, okay. So it felt like that the first year. And then by like that's why I feel like when I was playing in the first year I didn't perform as much as I wanted to, because I was coming back from the national team with a whole system, and I was coming to a whole different system. The way the rules in the United States is different, the way people play volleyball, the concept that how we even like play, like how the mindset of playing volleyball is different, the speed of the ball. So I was not able of performing as much as I wanted to. I feel like the second year was the year where I was like standing on a solid ground at some point, that I was like, I know what's happening, I know what a conference is, I know what we want to win. Low key, I was surprised that we won the conference because I couldn't still differentiate between like preseason games and conference games. But when we won, I was like, oh, so we won everything. I was happy about that. And going to the NGCAA was a really big honor to understand the fact that, oh, we are not the only good team in here. There's a lot and a lot of way better teams. And standing on that ground, because you know most of the players that play in the NGCAA tournament are the ones that be selected in the D1 schools and be recruited from there. So I was really proud to be there. It was another thing, and also FSW offered me a huge opportunity, whether it's a start, it's in the beginning of the line, or I was not understanding. It's still a huge opportunity. Without FSW, I wasn't gonna play in UTEP. I wasn't gonna come to FIU. It gave me the shine and the ground that I needed to do, like I needed to be in, so I can play in the D1 level.
Yeah, you definitely shined a lot. You were a part of so many firsts, not just the first FSW volleyball team, but I mean the first conference championship you guys got. I'm actually wearing the shirt right now that has on the back of it.
Mhm.
You were the first ever conference player of the year for FSW. You were, I mean, all-time blocks leader. You know, so many records have your name on it. You're the first to make it to the national tournament, first to be a part of the national tournament team representing FSW, and first ever NJCAA All-American for FSW volleyball. I mean, the list goes on. Your sophomore year, you just killed. 267 kills, 117 blocks, 61 serving aces. You still hold that record too. I mean, just absolutely dominated. And I always talk about this with the basketball guys, the FSW way. It really started off with their program, the saying, but it's really gone on throughout all of the programs to where a lot of the other players in other sports are taking that on and running with it. How would you describe the FSWA for volleyball, sending players to the Division I level? Because you're not the only one. You talk about Kiki at East Carolina, Kellen birthing at San Francisco, Julia, Maria, Fiona, Riley, so many other great players. How do you describe the FSWA effect on FSW volleyball?
So I think beside like as a beginning, I feel like FSW as a school of sports set a really high standard for their players. Not only in volleyball and softball, as you can see, like they are back-to-back championship champions, I think, back to back. So that's a huge thing. They're winning the NJCAA tournament. That's a huge thing. That's not something that I'd be like passing by every day. And the basketball where I like the first year, they were impressive. People were actually I look he was impressed, like because I came from a country where I saw only like men like three like not that much dunking, and then I see people flying around and that's the standard. So I actually think the FSW as a like a whole program for athletes hold a really suitable ground, like an environment where D1 athletes could be like made. Because D1 athletes are not just born, like just because you're 6'5", 6'3", 6'1", whatsoever, that doesn't make you a D1 athlete person or a material of like being a D1. So me as a 6'1", I'm a short middle, but I am like a tall outside. So it's not that I was born to be a D1 athlete. It was more that I was made. Especially Coach Thais, she set the bar really high. Like when I was there, you were not allowed to mess up. And if you mess up and low-key, if you get caught messing up, you're gonna get punished. Whether it's you, like whether you did it on purpose or not, you still messed up. So I feel like that standard that she put, even if you didn't wanna, even like there was other players, like there were really great players like Kiki, Killen that showed a lot of improvement, showed a lot of discipline and day-to-day like activities. But there were also other players that were like going by the minimum bare, but they still couldn't go less than that because these are the high standards that we're doing. So imagine if you're like having high standards and you keep up with them, yeah, you're still doing the minimum of them, but they're still high standards. So not being allowed to like lower your standard, not being allowed to be undisciplined, not seeing this as an opportunity made you come every day and do the same thing, which is giving 100%. Or sometimes I saw people that give 120%. And that's why you see like FSW, despite the fact that we didn't win in the NJCAA tournament the first year, most of the players went to D1 schools, which show you that we made it really far as an athlete because of like FSW. Also, low key because of the nice people there, the people who came to cheer for us and all that. We have a big stadium, and by the end of the like when we were playing our conference matches, people start coming and coming. I would prefer if more and more people come like as basketball games, but they still coming a lot. So I feel like the coach helped us a lot, the equipments that we were offered, the standards that we were living on, and of course the people around us. The people make you hype, the people make you want to perform better.
Yeah, they definitely have one of the best arenas in the country. And
Yeah.
I know firsthand, Coach Thais has very high standards, and that's a big reason you guys succeeded so much, and a big reason why you were able to dominate and go to the Division I level, go to UTEP last season in the Conference USA, a great conference overall in all of their sports. And you ended up being one of the best players right off the bat, one of the best middles in the whole conference. MVP of the Idaho State tournament, 15 kills versus UC Irvine and UTRGV, 19 kills and 9 blocks against where you're at now, FIU. I'm pretty sure the team had a big reason why they recruited you. I mean, you guys ended up being semifinalists in the 2021 National Invitational Volleyball Championship. And overall, like I said, just a great time at UTEP this past year. How would you describe your this past year at UTEP? How do you feel like that got you better for where you're at now?
I think it was definitely an interesting experience. I think I preferred my time at FSW more because I made more friends. I was really connecting with my teammates. Yeah, I think I needed UTEP as a step to move forward because I was a middle. I was not allowed from multiple coaches to be an outside or a pin player. In my team, like in my what's it called, in my country, a lot of coaches wanted the immediate benefit, which is she's good at the middle, so just let her be there, which really hurted me as a player because I knew I could been like a great pin player. So when I went there and I transferred to being on right side, I felt that I belonged there. You get me? Like I belonged in the right side place. So I feel like it was a great step to transfer. Like I needed that to transfer from being a middle and that's it, or being an outside but not being as shiny as I need to, or coaches not being as supportive as they need to when I'm an outside, to being a pin player. So I transferred from being just a middle to being a right side, and then I came here and I'm like, they returned for me like to be an outside and a right side. So I feel like it was an interesting year. I like it, El Paso, a lot. People of El Paso are really nice. And it was really a nice experience to see a whole stadium full. That was the best part of the whole year. Seeing people in the stadium shout, you cannot hear the coach. You're looking at the coach, you're beside him, he's yelling like the loudest he can, and you're like, I hope I heard that right because I didn't. So you're like, okay, I'm just gonna act like I heard what he said, and I'm just gonna do what I was trained to do. So it was the best thing ever. People in El Paso were really nice, were really friendly. I feel like I was not fitting as much with the team as I fitted with FSW and as I fitted here. So I decided to like move forward and go to like FIU. But it was funny to like be recruited by the people, like by the team that I played against last year. It was really funny, like trust me. But I really like the coaching staff here, and I'm really interested in their way of thinking, their mindset, and I really like my team here, like the girls and all that. They're really nice, and I think we have a lot of potential this year. We have a lot of physicality and athleticism in our team.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching you guys play. You know,
Yeah.
season. I mean, I mentioned you guys are going to be going against FGCU, which made a name for themselves in the national tournament last year. Making it past the first round, beating Texas Tech in 5 sets. I mean, they have an All-American in Aaron Shoemaker, but you're also going against some really good teams in Oklahoma, Iowa, Arkansas. You're of course going to be going against your former team in UTEP. You're actually going to be going against one of your former teammates at FSW, Vicky, when you play Gonzaga. So that's going to be a fun game to watch as well. How how excited are you for this upcoming season? Are there any games that you're really looking forward to? Is there anything you're really looking to do yourself specifically while helping your team make it to the national tournament?
So to be honest with you, I'm really excited to play this year. It's I have 2 years to play in the United States. This is one of them, and I'm playing like this year, and then I have another one, and I'm really excited. It's it feels nice after like 3 years of being in the United States to fully understand what's happening, to fully understand we're in preseason. This is where we focus ourselves. We're in summer. Like I think I understand fully or 99% what's happening. And to be honest, there's a lot of games that are interesting. Like FGCU, as you said, we played them when we were in FSW before, and I saw that was the first time that I saw a really unique player, and she was outstanding. Like literally, I have met a lot of players on the international level and all that, but I always saw that there is a weakness in them. There is that difficulty in this, like in attacking. If they're good at attacking, they're not good at blocking. That's how it is. But in United States, some players are so good that it's so irritating to like play against them. And I have one of the players, like the All American, the FGCU have. I have really interest in playing against her. Gonzaga, of course, I really want to play against Vicky. She have a really great defense, and she have a like me and her had like a lot of rivalry when it comes to playing against each other every day to day. So imagine playing that on real games. So That's actually exciting. I'm also really excited for all the preseason games, and of course UTEP and Western Kentucky, because UTEP, Rice, and Western Kentucky. Because I played with UTEP, I know their abilities. I know there's a lot of like new faces there. I'm excited to play them because I know this team didn't win by luck. This team won by a really good coaching, a really physical, like they're a really good physical team. They're really good at serve receiving. And Western Kentucky, I'm really excited to play number 5 because, as you know, she is one of the best players. She actually got invited multiple times to the national team camp and all of that. So I really like playing against her. The best thing that you do as a player is wanting to play against players that can kick everyone's ass. Not even your ass, everyone's ass. The best thing is playing against people that are strong. If you play against people that you know you can beat, then you're not improving. And I feel like I find the enjoyment of volleyball and playing strong, stressful games. I think I should improve my receiving, low key, because I'm playing as an outside. So low key, I'm gonna need to receive. But I feel like I want to be a powerhouse scorer this time. Like I did it in FSW, I did it in UTEP, and I did it in Egypt. And my specialty is scoring points every way possible. I, of course, me personally, I love hitting the ball, as you know, and my serves too. But I also love blocking, so I feel like I can be really useful in that. I want to improve in my defensive players, like back row defense and receiving. I feel like this could be a little bit of target when I'm playing against UTEP. So I want to focus on that in order to for me to like help my team in my fullest abilities. Well, I spoke a lot this time. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you definitely are gonna make a huge impact for your team, scoring points like you've always done at every single level. And I'm looking forward because I have a feeling that, not only you talk about going against, FGCU's All American, I have a suspicious feeling that I'm gonna be seeing Yasso Amin's name in that All American list this year. I'm definitely excited to see what you guys do. Thank you so much, Yasso, for being the very first volleyball interview that I've done on here. It really means a lot to have you on here, and I can't wait to see you at FIU here soon.
Thank you so much for your great introduction. And to be honest, I am really, really impressed of your interviews. I was impressed with your introduction. I was like, oh, is he speaking about me? And then I also want to thank you for this opportunity. I feel really like appreciated to be able to do an interview here. So thank you so much. And let's catch up on if you see your game.
Absolutely. I'll definitely see you, Yasso.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.